everybody, it's Mike from Wild Education. So there's a lot going on. We are trying to find a place to move. We're trying to raise money for that whole move and all that stuff. We also need to figure out what we are going to do if and when the new laws come into place that will ban mobile live animal demonstrations, which is 3/4 of the income for our rescue. So behind me, this is my plan. This is kind of like what we're working on to be the future of Wild Education, to help us have some sort of income without relying on donations and things like that, because we have always wanted to be a self-sustaining rescue. So this is a rat breeding rack. Now I went over it a few weeks ago, kind of what we were doing, but now it's complete for now. We're not going to build any more until after we move in March. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we find a place. But I'm going to show you kind of how this works, and then another project we're working on, because somebody in the comments the other day did ask a question. We would like to answer that as well. So these are the rack systems. They are 3 individual ones. I've put them together just to make them more stable. Each rack has its own separate watering system. That watering system goes down into the nipple. The nipple, oh look, they're drinking right now. So that nipple goes down into the enclosure, and it's a metal nipple so the rats can't actually chew. So the way we do it is, in our rescue with Gary and that, we have a few of these really big enclosures here with a bunch of rats. Now these ones here have a few males with mostly females in them. So what we do is whenever we see the pregnant females, usually 2 or 3 at a time, we take them out. We take these extremely pregnant rats and put them in here. So these tubs are bigger than a lot of people breed their rats in. So the idea now is they will have their babies, and these are now nursing stations. And the reason we're doing it like nursing stations instead of putting a male and 2 females per bin, like a lot of other breeders will do, is because when a rat has her babies, she can immediately get pregnant again. So then her body is trying to nurse her babies while producing and growing new ones inside of her. So it is a little harder on the females. The production can go down. It lowers the lifespan of the rats. So we do it this way. So while they are nursing their babies, they are not growing any babies inside of them because they are not pregnant, hopefully. So you can see at one of these nursery bins here, there are a lot of babies in there. So now, instead of having these guys get overrun with baby rats growing, we will take a few out of this one, and a few out of this one, and a few out of this one at each life stage. So we have the pinkies, the fuzzies, and then we will take those, we will cull them, and we will freeze them off. That way, it kind of ensures we always have all the sizes of rats. These ones are a little older, and we are going to be growing up for every different size. And you see we have taken some of the pinkies out, so there's not a ton of them in here. And we are going to take some of these out soon, so we have this size of rat. And we did talk about it before. People were asking, how do we kill the rats? We don't just smash them on something or anything like that. We actually have a CO2 chamber, and we CO2 them. They go to sleep and don't wake up again. And that way, it's a lot less brutal, it's quicker, we can actually do a whole bunch at one time, and it's not messy, there's no blood everywhere. So here's an idea of how many rats we can produce with this system. So each rack has 6 bins. Each bin theoretically would have 3 rats in it. Now, if each one of those 3 rats had, let's just say 10 babies. Now these rats can have up to 20 or so babies at a time. But let's just average it out at 10 babies. So there are 54 rats between these bins. And if 54 rats have 10 babies each, that is 540 babies this whole system can produce. And that is every month and a half or so as they age out and everything comes out of the rack. So 540 babies, there we go. You see that? That's my great graphics. I hope you like that one. And the results are frozen packs of rats. So these medium rats here are now ready to go. So in the next few weeks, we are going to be starting to advertise and setting dates and times people can come down and pick up rats. We also have African soft fur rats, which are a different kind of rat, but people love them for their ball pythons. And these rats are going to be cheaper than rats you will buy at a pet store. I'm pretty sure right now at a lot of pet stores in the Lower Mainland, a large rat is going to cost you somewhere around $10, $12, something like that. We're going to be selling them for around $8. And the nice thing is the money from these rats goes back into the rescue to help us care for the animals and just help keep everybody happy and healthy. Now, the other thing we're working on that we had some questions about, I gotta walk to the other side, but we were asked about feeder insects. Now, I'm not gonna start breeding crickets because no. Superworms we could breed, but I don't really want to. What we're focusing on right now, and excuse the mess of the rack, this is an old rack. Feeder cockroaches. So these are discoid cockroaches, and there are a lot of them in here. And this is one of many colonies we have going now. And these little bugs here are an excellent source of nutrition for your bearded dragons, your leopard geckos, anything that eats bugs. And the nice thing is they do have a softer exoskeleton when younger. So we don't want them for the adults. Here's an adult right here with the wings. We don't want them for the adults because we don't want them eating the wings. We keep the adults for breeding, and then we put them in here. Now the great thing too is just like the rats, they eat fruit scraps and dog food. This one here is one of our newer colonies. So they are a lot smaller, but if you dig through, there are lots of cockroaches in this bin. Like hundreds and hundreds of cockroaches throughout all of the soil in here. So that is gonna be kind of our other project we're gonna be doing for feeders. So basically, if all goes terribly with the new laws, but goes well with our breeding projects, by the time the new laws come into place and we cannot do mobile presentations, we are hoping to still keep the rescue afloat by providing quality feeder rodents and insects to everyone who needs them in the Lower Mainland, British Columbia, and who knows, maybe we'll eventually start shipping them. So, down the road, if you need rats or cockroaches, keep an eye out on Wild Education because we are going to be starting to supply these very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.